Today we are going to see classes. So before that, do we have any doubt or have anyone tried yet? I mean, have anyone tried anything else? If they got any issue, is there anything like that? Or do we have any question, any doubt? Okay, I guess no. So, okay, so let's start. So today we'll see how we can write a class in Flutter, sorry, in Dart, and then how we can execute it. Okay. I want to know one thing. Do you want that? But I mean, this particular thing on the Dartpad, or do you want this in VS Code? So VS Code is our IDE, or do you want that on Dartpad? You can unmute yourself and tell me.
Code.
Both. Hello.
Sir, VS Code side.
VS Code. Okay. Okay. Sure. Let's go to VS Code and let me share the screen. Yes. Can I know if you are able to see my screen? Also,
Yes,
if you able to see VS Code.
yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay, that's good. One more thing. Don't call me sir. Please call me Vivek. Okay. Okay. So let's start. So yeah, very first thing, our every class starts from the main function. First, we will write main function. Right. We can write main function like this. Also, we know that before function name, we have to provide a return type. Okay, and which is optional in Dart. So one more thing to note, that if you don't write a return type, that's perfectly okay. That is optional, but the recommended is that you should always write this thing. Okay, always write a return type. So yeah, this is our thing, and let's just print. Hey, we are learning classes. Our main file is ready. Let's create a class, and now let's create a class for human. Okay, so class human. Yep. So you can see the structure is something like that. Let me have a comment like this. Okay. In structure, we can see that first we write a class keyword like this. Okay, so class is a keyword that denotes that we are creating a class here. Okay, after that we will have class name. Okay, followed by the curly braces. Okay, so this is how we write a class, and every class will look like this one: class followed by class name and then curly braces. And if you ask me how the class name should look like, so it should look like this. The first letter should be alphabet, should be capital, and then followed by the capital letter, followed by our the actual thing. Okay, I guess we call it as a snail, camel case. So first thing will be capital and then followed by camel case. So here it will be video, something like that. Okay, or yeah, so you can see first one is capital, and then every other uh, new word will start with the capital thing. Okay, do we have? Okay, someone's talking or someone is asking something. Um, okay, I guess no. Okay. So this is how we write class. Okay. Let's see how we can write a variable into it. So we know that class contains variables and functions, right? Where variables are states and functions are behavior. Okay, behavior or basically whatever he can do. Okay, work or something like that. And then here, so how to write a variable? We all know how to write a variable. First, variable type followed by variable name. So let's say the variable type is string and variable name is name. So every human have a name, every human have a age, right? Every human may have a height as well, right? Every human will have a weight. So this is how we write a variable inside a class, and this variable can be final, right? Some variable can be const. So let's say that we have a const and type. So const string type is human, right? So we can have a const like that. Const, yeah. For that we need a static as well. So we can add a static. So every const will go with the static one. Okay. Then, so yeah, this is how we write variables in our classes. Okay. Let's see how we can write a function. So again, function is very simple. We will first write the return type. So return type, let's say string, and here should be get info. Okay. The function name is get info, which will return information about this human. So he can say that name of this human is, then we can have dollar and then followed by variable name, right? We know this, right? And age, we can have another line slash n. Age is dollar age, right? Again, then we can have one more thing like get height. Get height should be like this, HIGST. So you can see I did some more thing. Instead of using this curly braces, I've done this one. So this is the fat arrow thing for the function. So we can write our function like this. This thing, so basically the return type, name, and this round brackets are same, but instead of doing a curly braces, we are using this fat arrow. So fat arrow is equals to, and then this arrow second sign. Okay, and after that you have to return this one. So one more thing you will notice that I have not written the return statement out here. So this is some kind of a default thing here, that if we whatever you are writing over here after this sign will be assumed that it is returning. Okay, so it is assumed that it will return. Okay, and okay, so let me write its equivalent for the weight. Okay, double get weight, so you can understand the difference like this. Now I'm using the normal thing. Okay, a normal curly braces. So here I will do write a return a keyword and then followed by weight. So you can see what I have replaced this fat arrow with curly braces and the return keyword. Okay,
Sir,
yeah.
I wrote almost similar code and we are having red lines under variable names. And when I place the cursor, it suggests late modifier is required.
Yes, yeah, I'll come on that. So, okay. So here we can see that this red line is not under this human, but it is on all the other variables, right? It is because we have enabled a null safety. And what is mean by null safety? It is mean by that our application, sorry, our this class will not have any null variable into it. And if you want a null variable, you have to specify it. So yeah, so since we don't have any null variable here, that is why we can see that it is showing us error. And how to resolve this error? This error will be resolved by either late keyword, okay, or we have to give its value in our constructor. Okay, so there are two things. Let's put late here. Okay, first thing age, and after that let's create a constructor here. Okay, so we saw how we can create how we can write variables, how we can write functions. Let's see how we can write constructor. So a simple constructor is normal thing. So we know a constructor a constructor is a function which don't have a written type and whose name look like the classes. Okay, so you can see I'm writing class name, then two round brackets. Okay, and then our this one semicolon. So you can see the name is exact similar to our class name, and the behavior is like a function. So you can see that this behavior is like a function. Okay. Now, in this constructor, we have to specify all the variables. Okay, all the variables which are not either late or which are not either const. Okay, so we can see as soon as I write this dot name, this dot, sorry, this dot age, this dot height, this dot weight. After putting all these variables inside this constructor, we can see that all these errors are gone, right? You can find one simple difference here. So we are passing everything in just single line. Okay, we are passing everything out here only. Okay, we are not creating any one more curly braces like this. So this is how we write a constructor. So how we write a constructor? We write class name. So here we can see class name followed by round brackets, and inside round brackets here we will write all the variable name. Right. So similarly, you can see class name is human. Then we are opening a round bracket, and then we are specifying all these variables. Okay, and let's remove this age here. Okay, so we can see we are not getting an error, and that is because of late keyword. So since we have specified late in front of age, that is why we are not getting any error. But as soon as I remove height, we should be seeing some error. So we can see that error here is either we should mark it as a late, or we should add that in our constructor, or we should add this in our constructor like this. Okay, any doubts till here? Okay, I'll take it as a no. Okay, so let's try to create an object of human. Okay, we all know that we can create an object of any class, and let's see what is the, let's see how we can create, and after that we will see its formation. Okay, so first we will write human return type and then variable name. So an object is nothing but a variable with our own custom class, right? So we can see that we are creating an object of human, the class which we have created. Okay, so we can see return type is a class name, and then its name, the class, so the variable name, then equals to. Okay, after that we have to write our constructor here. So we can see that this particular constructor is giving us an object. Okay, this particular constructor is giving us an object. Okay, so whatever we pass here should be similar to this particular constructor. So the name is in string, so you can see string. So we have to pass a name here, Vivek. Height, let's assume that my height is 5.4. Sorry, 5.4 is in double, right? 5.4, and my weight is 70. Okay, let's make it 70.2. Okay, we can see that we have created our constructor, and we can see the values are in the same fashion out here. So basically it is exactly in same fashion as we can see in this constructor. So first the name, we have passed the name, then height, this is height, and then weight, this is weight. Okay, even we can compare that with the return type. So we can see the first one should be string. This name is string, right? That's why first one will go string. If I remove this Vivek, and let's say I say that I'll pass Vivek at the end, so we can see that we got an error. That error says that first variable which we have provided here is a type of double, but I want a string here. Okay, that means if we have constructor like this, okay, then we have to pass the values in the constructor in the same fashion, in the same manner. Okay, and if I call this get info on this particular object, it should print name as Vivek and age as some age. Okay, so let's try to do this. So okay, are we clear with the pattern? So the pattern is last name, then variable name, variable name should be like this, then equals to, and then constructor, right? Okay, do we have any doubt, anything till here?
No, sir.
Okay, great. So let's try to run this function. Okay, since we have this particular object with us, then we can access all the variables and all the functions written inside this human class. So if I do human dot, so by using this dot operator, we can access all the variables and all the functions written inside the class. So we can see age, height, name, weight, all the variables are here, and all the functions are also here. Get height, get info, and get weight. Okay, so let's try to run get info, and let's see if we are able to run this or not. Okay, so okay, how to run our application on the VS Code? For that, we have to go to terminal, and we have to see if we have Dart or not. So if you want to check if you have installed Dart or not, just click and just write Dart and enter. So if you see anything like this, that means your Dart is installed. So how to run a class? You have to write Dart followed by your particular file. So we can see that we have written some, we have tried to run our project. Let me just clean it. Okay, and then run it. So we can see that we can see the first print method, that hey, we are learning classes. Okay, are you able to clearly see this text in our code, or should I increase the font? Is it visible? Yes, no, something.
Sir, slight increase करेंगे, it will be better.
Okay, yeah, so let me just try to increase it little bit. Okay, so font size, let's make
Hello,
it. Yes,
Vivek. Hello.
yes, ma'am.
Huh. So, if you make your background white, then I think it is visible to all.
Okay, you want background white? Okay, we can do that as well. I guess that is in the themes.
Dark is fine, ma'am.
Dark is fine.
Okay, if dark
Yeah,
is
that is appropriate because that's on with a laptop or mobile screen. Black background is better.
okay. What else do we have here in font? Font size we have increased. Text editor font is also increased. Okay, I guess. Okay, let's try to see if it is increased or not. Is it better? Okay. So yes, so here we can see the error is, so yeah, first line, in the first line we can see that we are able to see hey, we are learning classes, and here we can see that in our main class the first line is hey, we are learning classes. So that is perfectly fine. And here we can see that while running this get info, we are getting this error that unhandled exception, date initialization field age is not initialized. And yes, we can see that our age, which we have marked as late, is not initialized, right? And that is why we are getting this issue. So if you are making any variable as late, we should be confident that we are updating its value, okay, before even using it. So let's update its value here. So we can update like update by again dot operator. So we will use object which is human dot followed by age, and then let's give it age of 25. Okay, and if you run it again, if we run it again, dot classes dot dot, so we can see that hey, we are learning classes. Okay, but we are not able to see any print statement. Why? Because we are just returning info, we are not printing anything. So what we can do, we can take it and we can put it inside this print function. Okay, and inside this print function, when we run it again, we can see name of this human is Vivek and age is 25. So this is how we are able to access variables. This is how we are able to access the function. Okay. Any doubt till now?
No, sir.
Okay. So let's try to see what are the other types of constructor which we have. Okay. So this type of constructor is actually known as the default constructor. Okay. This is the default one. Okay. We can have some other type of constructor like human dot. Okay. So we can have optional values as well. So let's make, does not, let's not make this age as this one. Let's do like this, and here what we can do, we can ask that age could be optional. Okay, so if you don't want to pass the age, that is perfectly fine, but how we should do that? We have to use curly braces again. I guess we are all familiar with the optional argument that we have saw in functions. Okay, here the concept is exactly same. Okay, if you want to make an any this variable as optional, what you can do, in the constructor you can write that particular variable inside this curly braces. For example, here I will write x dot age. Okay, now this is optional. Okay, but it is optional, but now it should not be null. So what we can do, we can provide an value. So let's say that a default value is 25. Okay, its default value is 25, and okay, so here the default value is 25, and if you are not passing age, let me remove this n as well. If you are not passing age in the constructor, it will say that this is perfectly fine. Okay, so if we run this again, we can see the same output. The name is Vivek and age is 25. Okay, but let's say that you want to pass the age. So let's, how you can pass the age. So after this, you can write age like this, AGE. So it is now, it will work like a key value pair. So you are passing the key as age, and then you are passing its value. So let's see the value is 32. And if I run this particular thing again, so we can see that here we are learning classes. Name of this human is Vivek and age is 32. Okay, the concept is same. If we are passing, I mean, if you are creating an optional parameter, or I can say the optional variable here, then you should provide some default value out here, and it is perfectly okay if you're not passing a value from here. And if you're passing a value from here, the updated value or this passed value will be used all over. So okay, so if I do it like 0, it will show us 0. Okay, any question till here? Okay, let me show us again. So what we can, what else we can have? String address. So let's say that our address is also optional. So what we can do, we can put this address over here, and we can have this empty value for this. Okay, which it's okay if you want to pass something or not. Okay, so this empty variable, empty value for the address. Okay, so here we can see if you are not passing anything, that is perfectly fine. But if we want to pass anything, we can pass that address is Mumbai. We can update the info as well. Let me move. And address is dollar address. If I run this again, so we can see the name of this human is Vivek, address is, sorry, age is 0, and address is Mumbai. Okay, let's play with this particular variable here. Okay, let's play with this. So how we can play this? So let's pass this age after Mumbai. Sorry, so here we can pass age like this. So you can see at first I am passing address and then I am passing age. Okay, and now let's try to run this. So we can see the output is exactly same. Here we are learning classes. Name is Vivek, age is 25, and address is Mumbai. So when we have optional parameter, at that time, our optional parameters, so we can pass our optional parameters in form of key value pair. So we can see the key is address and value is Mumbai, key is age and value is 25. Okay. There is one more, type of optional parameter. Okay. Which is like this. So can you tell me what change I did here at this particular place? What change I did? Can anyone tell me? Hello?
Sir, it is visible.
Okay, sorry. So yeah, so can anyone tell me what change I did here in the VS Code and this particular constructor at this particular?
Square brackets.
Yes, I have removed the curly brackets with the square brackets. And as soon as I do this change, the behavior of this constructor will change. And if we scroll up, we will see this particular error here. Okay. So it says that age is not defined and it says address is not defined. And it is because even though it is optional, you can see that if I remove this, the error is gone. Okay. So what happens when we create a constructor with this one, the square brackets? So it gives us the another behavior that okay, now these objects are optional. That's perfectly fine. Okay, if you are not passing that parameters or that variable, then I'm okay with that. But if you want to pass me those variables, you have to pass them in similar fashion. Okay, in similar fashion in which the constructor is defined. So you can see first is name, height, weight, and after weight I have to pass age. Okay, and after age I have to pass address. So this fashion should be maintained when you are using a square bracket. So you can see if I am passing age and after age if I am passing address, then you can see the constructor have taken that part and it is not showing us any error. Let's try to run this. Let me first clear it. Okay, and if I run this, we can see the output is exactly same. The age is 25, address is Mumbai, and name is Vivek. But let's do another thing. Let's try to put Mumbai first. Okay, let's try to send the address first and then try to send that age. So you can see that this is creating an error. Okay, so whenever you are using the square brackets for the optional parameter, then the entry of variables should be maintained. After weight there should be entry for after weight there should be entry for age only, because you cannot pass address directly. Okay, is that clear? So if I do this again, we can see that it is asking us to say what you are passing. So I'm saying that I'm passing age and I'm passing address. Okay. Now let's do another thing. So you can see that we have passed this default value. And let's take a case that there is no default value. For example, for age, there should no default value, right? Every human have a different age. So what we can do, we can remove this default value here, and we can make this age as optional. As nullable. As soon as we make it nullable, we can see the error is gone. Even though we are not passing any default value, we are not able to see that error. Okay, and how to create a variable as nullable? You just have to add this question mark in front of your return type, right? Any doubt till here? Any doubt? Because we are going into some other thing now. We will see some nullability. Before that, do you have any issue, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, ठीक है. So now this variable is null. That means if I run this particular code, it should give us error. Oh, okay. We are passing age here, right? Okay, let me remove this particular age entry here. Now let me run this again. So we can see age is null, right? And it does not look good. If so, what we should do? If there is no age, then don't pass any age. Okay, that should be the condition. And if there is age, then only pass the age. So we can write all those condition here, right? And to write a statement into string, so we can see this is string, and if we want to write a statement, so we can use dollar and followed by curly braces, right? For example, here if we are passing directly this variable into a string, so we can use dollar and variable name. But if we are doing some operation, for example, here we have to check if age is null or not. In that case, we can use dollar followed by this curly braces. So it helps us to write a statement in this line. So how we can write statement? So we can check age is equals to null, and if that is the case, then add age is dollar age, else add, else do nothing. Okay, else do nothing. Let's try to run this particular code. So you can see what I have done. I have opened a statement here by dollar and curly braces, and inside this curly braces you can see I'm writing whole statement. The statement is age is equals to null and then ternary operator. Okay, I'll show you what's ternary operator as well. So ternary operator behaves like if else. So you can see this is the condition, age is equals to null, and then this question mark is for the if, and this particular colon is for the else. So if this particular thing is true, then everything written after this question mark will be called. And if this age is not null, sorry, if age is null, then it will run this age is dollar age, and if age is not null, then it will run this. So let's see. Okay, before that, do you find any issue with this code, or do you have you find any issue with the code? Yes, no. Okay, so let's run this, and then we will find that. So you can see after running it, we can see age is null here. So that was the issue with the code. So what we have to write, if age is not equal to null, then print or then add age is dollar age, else don't show anything. So we can see here that when my age is null, because we didn't pass anything, so we can see the age is not displayed over here. We can see this empty line, right? The name of this human is Vivek, address is Mumbai, but no age is there. We can also have some like no age is mentioned. And if we run this code again, so we can see name is Vivek, no age is mentioned, and address is Mumbai. And as soon as we write age here, 25. Okay, and if you run this, so we can see name of this human is Vivek, age is 25, and address is Mumbai. Okay, so this is how we write class. This is how we create an object. This is how we access functions. Okay, now let me know if you have any doubt. So no doubt still here, or we can. Okay, so let's do one thing. So since we don't have any doubt here, let's try to code a normal calculator. Okay, let's try to create a normal calculator into Dart language. Okay, is that fine? We can create a calculator file here. Dart, and we can try to create this calculator application by our own, right?
Okay, sir.
Does that sound a good plan?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's try it out. So I want everyone to open their VS Code or Render Studio or wherever they are coding. They can also do this in Dartpad as well. Okay. And so let's start, writing some code. So first, yeah, first we will write our main function. So for that we'll write void main, right? Like this. Then yeah, one more. Yeah. Okay. After that we have to create a class for calculator with functions like add, subtract, divide, multiply. Okay, so let's do this. So first we will create a class. So how to create a class? We have to use a class, class, keyword here, and then class name. Class name is calculator. Okay, before even starting this, I want to know if there is anyone who have not installed Flutter and Dart in their laptop, or if they are finding any issue in installing Flutter and Dart.
No issue, sir.
Everyone have
Hello.
installed?
Sir, sir, actually, I've started VS Code, and it will shows like running and Flutter running and running. It's showing that process only. I'm not able to get started with that particular folders and all.
Okay, is it okay? Edwin, can we have this presenter access to her so that she can share her screen?
I have the snapshot. I'm sharing the just snapshot. Okay.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Hmm.
That will also work. Okay, we have a doubt here. If we pass same kind of data type, it accepts or gives an error. If you pass same kind of data type, okay, in this square bracket, then it will accept it. But if you pass different type of data type, then it will throw error. For example, our age is in form of integer, and if you pass a string in place of age, then it will give an error. I guess Maharashtra may have resolved that, resolved your issue. Let me know if not. Okay, so yeah, so everyone please keep creating their calculator application. Meanwhile, I am doing that as well. Okay, so yeah, I will have some variables like int a and int, okay, and then I can have a class, sorry, constructor of calculator. Then I can have this dot a, this dot b. I will make it final because I don't want to change it. Okay, and then I will have some functions like void add. I don't want to return anything. I will just print everything here. So what I'll do, I will write print a plus b. Okay, or can do this as well. Addition is, I will copy it, pick it up, then minus subtraction is multiplies. Then divide. Okay. So in main class, we'll create we do that. We do that like this. Create calculator. Okay, the object name is calculator, and then calculator. So here I will pass values 10, 20, and if I do calculator dot add calculator dot subtract, calculator dot multiply, calculator dot if. Okay, and if I run this particular thing, clear it, start calculator. So we can see the addition is 30, subtraction is minus 10, division multiply is 200, and division is 0.5. Okay, I want to know what is the process. Okay, okay, you are creating a template, right? I think it is downloading some files, that is why it is taking a lot of time. So, and you are creating a Flutter project. So yeah, so it is actually downloading few files for you. That is why it is taking some so much time.
But
So
it's
if you want
about
to,
how many times? Like 2 hours, 3 hours? Up,
okay, it is
I
taking
think
that
I
much.
have started. Yes, I have started up to the 12 o'clock around.
Okay, okay, okay. I guess that is an issue. So what you can do, you can just do cancel here. Write a cancel, yeah,
Okay.
and just write Flutter create and calculator. Right, Flutter create calculator. So we can see Darshak has completed calculator class. Oh wow, you have used switch statement. That's great. And you're passing operation as well. Yeah, that's great. Okay. Okay. So let's give small work to Darshak that okay, create one more function here. Okay, like print info. Okay, and in that print all these values here. Print all these values from A B, and OP. Okay, so you will have one more function. Okay, and in that function you have to print the values. Okay, but you have to use this line or this single line only. In the main you will only use this single line. Okay, anyone else is doing this, or if they are having any issues, you can ask me. Okay, it's 116, and by 120 we will move to our another topics. ओके, सो ठीक है, और किसने किसने काम किया? हर्ष आपने अपलोड किया है, ओके दैट्स ग्रेट। यस हर्ष जी ने नोटपैड पे किया है, वाओ दैट्स कूल। और दर्शक आपके साइड से कुछ अपडेट?
सर 1 मिनट मैम, जस्ट अ मिनट।
हिमालय मैम आपका अभी चल रहा है बराबर, फ्लटर क्रिएट हो रहा है प्रोजेक्ट, नॉर्मल फ्लटर क्रिएट करेंगे तो?
नहीं सर, same error is going on. That's why I'm
अच्छा,
trying on Dartpad.
so okay, so do one more thing, try flutter upgrade first, okay? So
Okay.
this command flutter upgrade, so yeah, it will help you to upgrade your flutter repository. And after that, I guess if you try flutter create it, so it might, you know, create the projects. So
Okay sir.
or there is one more option. So if you do flutter create offline, so there is one more option of offline, so you can actually create a project offline without uh, okay, how I make, okay, yeah, this one. So if you do like this flutter create offline, so it will create a project in offline, it will not download anything. So you might try this as well. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, sure. Yeah, someone is saying something, single on output. हाँ बट वो फंक्शन ही नहीं आया, दूसरा वाला फंक्शन दर्शक जी, वो जो हमको चाहिए था ना अलग से फंक्शन। सो एक्चुअली मैं क्या बोल रहा था ना आपको, मैं आपको बताता हूँ। सो ओके, सो लेट्स सी वन थिंग। सो लाइक कैलकुलेटर डॉट किया हमने ऐड, ओके सॉरी ऐड, ठीक है। इसके बाद अगर मैं डॉट करूँ तो मुझे वो कुछ मिलता नहीं है। तो एक्चुअली क्या होता है कि इसके बाद अगर मैं डॉट करूँ तो ये ऐड का जो है ना वैल्यू उसके ऊपर काम करता हूँ। तो ऐड वॉइड है यहाँ पे, ऐड का मतलब फंक्शन का रिटर्न टाइप वॉइड है, तो इसके लिए क्योंकि वॉइड है तो कुछ होगा नहीं वहाँ पे, इसके लिए देखो उसके बाद डॉट करेंगे हम तो कुछ भी नहीं मिलता। बट अगर मैं ऑब्जेक्ट के बाद डॉट डॉट करूँ, सिंगल डॉट नहीं डबल डॉट करूँ, और फिर मैं फंक्शन लिखूँ और फिर मैं डबल डॉट करूँ, तो आप देखोगे मेरे को फिर से वो सारे फंक्शंस मिल रहे हैं यहाँ पे। फिर डबल डॉट करूँ तो यहाँ पे डिफ मिल रहा है। तो ये कुछ ऐसा टाइप का बिहेवियर है ऑब्जेक्ट का। अगर आप डबल टैप करो, डबल डॉट करोगे तो ये इसका जो भी रहेगा ना इसके बाद में, ये इसके ऊपर नहीं जाएगा, वो चेनिंग करेगा। और जब भी मैं डबल डॉट करूंगा तो ये सिर्फ ऑब्जेक्ट के ऊपर जाएगा। तो आप देख रहे हो डबल डॉट, तो ये ऑब्जेक्ट के ऊपर कॉल हो रहा है। डबल डॉट, it is calling again an object, right? So if I am doing double dot, then it is directly referring to the object. And if I do a single dot, okay, a single dot, so it will reflect on the function. Okay, for the first it will refer to the object on the first dot, and for the second dot it will refer to the function which is called. Okay, so we can see that here as well. If I make a string and if I return something like that, let me return the whole thing right here. Okay, yes, so we can see that after add, because it is a string return, okay, the output, I mean the return type is string, so we can see all the string functions out here, right? We can see all the string function. So this is how this chaining works. Okay, okay. Any doubt till here? Any doubt? Anyone? Just ask me, please. Is there anyone who is running this particular application and it is not able to run for you? Is there? Yeah, sure, Darshak, please try. Okay. 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 So should we start with the Flutter part?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So let's move to the Flutter. Okay. So yeah, I'm again asking for the last time. Do we have any doubt for the Dart? Any doubt? It can be, you know, anything. I mean, it can be anything. Okay. Okay, fine. So we don't have any doubt here. So let's move to the Flutter. Okay. The first thing, I guess everyone knows how to create Flutter projects, but still, I'll try to create a Flutter project here. Okay, let me clear it. Let me close this as well. Okay, so the first thing, in the terminal, if you write Flutter create, then you can create a project of Flutter. Okay, and if you write -h, okay, then it will give you all, sorry, just -h, yeah, it will give you all the commands which are directly related to Flutter create. So we can see -t for template, -a for Android language, -i for iOS language, then org description. So we can see a lot of options which is available here. So there is this offline as well. Okay, there is override as well, then description. So yes, okay. For now, what we will do, we will write flut. Let me just clear it first.
Vivek sir,
Yes.
actually Drumil sir taught us the other way, like Command Shift P and then start a new project. So are we in any disadvantage if we do that way?
No, 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 no. There is no such disadvantage. It's just your way. So yeah. So basically, it's just, I mean, you can have your own types. So I mostly prefer Android Studio. You can see that I have this Android Studio. So I go for the Android Studio most of the time. And if I am on the VS Code, then I prefer Terminal. So it's just your preference. There's no disadvantage or advantage over that part, because every function which is available in Android Studio is available on the VS Code. And even though you can do everything with a terminal as well. So we have that flexibility with Flutter. So yeah, in the end, it is your preference. Whatever you like, you can go ahead with that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's create a project. So I will write Flutter create. So let's make a teacher app. Okay, I hope everyone is here. So let's make a teacher app. The Flutter create teacher. I am doing enter. So so we can see that it is creating a project for me. Okay, and here we can see a folder out here named teacher. So that exactly, I mean, the teacher name out here is a project name. And I hope everyone is familiar with the project structure. I guess Drumil have taught us that how is a project structure is, what is the main.dart file, what is the pubspec.yml. I guess everyone is familiar with that, right? Can I get a heads up on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So let's try to run this particular project, which I have here. And before that, let's try to find out what are the devices I have. So I have Flutter. If I do Flutter devices, I will find all the devices which we have. Okay, and devices means all the platforms on which I can run my project. Just a moment. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, so we can see that in Flutter devices we got two devices. One is Mac OS desktop and one is Chrome web. That means we can run our Flutter application on these two platforms as well. And for now, I'm going to run this on web. So Flutter run, okay, then -d means device, and then I will write Chrome. So no PubSec. Okay, sorry. We have to move into our project, which is teacher, CD teacher, and I can write the same line here. So we can see it is launching lib/mentor.dart on our device in debug mode. Okay, and in few seconds it will run our code on Chrome. Okay. So yes, this is the Chrome, and here we will see our output in few seconds. So yes, this is our output. Okay, simple calculator application, and I think we are familiar with this thing. Okay, how calculator application works and how everything is is there. Okay, and now we are going to see the layout widgets. Okay, and for that I will open my presentation. Okay, a simple presentation. I hope I'm not boring you with my presentation. Yep, so open recent OFD day 2. Yes, so let me present it. So yes, this is a day 2 which we are starting here, and this is me. And here the agenda is, the first agenda is we will see widgets. Okay, so the after classes the agenda is we will see widgets, its definition, its types, and in the end hands-on. Okay, and yes, so let's see what is the widget. Okay, because when you meet with any Flutter developer, and so you will see him talking about widget only. Okay, so 99% he will talk about this widget, that widget, and for just 1% he will talk about some other thing. Okay, so what is this widget? So widgets are basic building block of Flutter UI. What is a basic building block? That means whatever you see in the Flutter application is actually a widget. So that is why uh, all of everything on the screen or on the device or on the application of Flutter application is nothing but a widget. For example, here in this app which we have run on our website, so we can see this Flutter demo homepage. This app bar is a widget. This debug thing which we have on the top right, this particular thing is also widget. This text, this number is also widget. This white background you can see right, that is also a type of widget. This plus button is also a widget. Okay, and if I long press on it, so you can see the text coming over here, the increment text, that is also a widget. So yes, that is why whatever we see on our screen of our Flutter application is nothing but a widget. Okay, and the central idea about the widget is that you can build your whole UI, you can build your complete UI out of widgets. Okay, and if you are familiar with the basic concept of widget, that means you can build complete application. Okay, and if if you're not familiar with the concept of widgets, so you might find some difficulty in building your UI. Okay, then so what widget describes? So let's say that we have a widget. So what does it have? So which first thing, the widget will show their view, how it is being layout, what is the color of it, I mean what is the shape of it, so everything. So first thing, it provides you the view, right? And next thing is the configuration. For example, here we can see this particular okay, so this app bar on the top, we can see Flutter demo homepage. So its configuration, we can see that it is laid out on the top. Okay, so its alignment is top. Then we can see its color is blue, and then we can see its width is the whole screen which is width which it is taking, and then we can see some height. Okay, so this all configuration is also provided by widget. Okay, and in the end, the state. What is the state of widget? For example, here this 12 is a state. This is the value of your our current widget. Okay, so I guess we are yeah. So I guess we are getting this particular thing. The widget describes the view, the current configuration, and the state. Okay, configuration means all these properties of it, and state means what type of value it is holding right now. And then the first thing is the view. So view is basically how it is showing us. For example, how we are viewing us, their color, their size, everything. Okay, any question till now about the widget? Any question?
No, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay, so let's move to our next thing, that is types of widgets. So we have a lot of type of widget. Okay, so we can see that these are the actually widgets which are provided by Flutter. Okay, that means we are not, I mean, this is indefinite. I can say indefinite set of widgets which we have. First set is the widgets which are provided by Flutter itself, and another set is the user, which, I mean, for example, I am a user of Flutter, so I can create my own widget as well. So there is no limit for widgets, in our application or in our Flutter SDK. So here we can see the first thing is the accessibility. So on the on the left top, we can see a widget type, that is accessibility. So all these widgets will make your app accessible. Okay. Then next thing is animation and motion. So if we use this particular widget, then it will add animations to our application. Then assets, image, icons. If we use this widgets, then it will manage assets. It will display images and it will show icons. Then there are some async, basics, stupid. So we can see a lot of widgets here. Okay, and every widget is actually giving us some property. It is giving us some power. For example, here in the center end, in the center right, you can see a layout widget. Okay, so we can see the text is arrange other widgets, column, rows, grids, and many other layouts. Okay, so it will take a lot of widget and it will arrange them in column or row. Okay, similarly, below that we can see the scrolling widgets. So scrolling widgets will give us the scrolling feature. Okay, so it will help us to scroll. Scroll. I mean, it will give us the scroll property to our application. We will scroll through our application. It might scroll some other widgets. Okay, it might scroll some images, so anything like that. Okay. So yes, we have a lot of widgets, and also we have a power that, let's say that the particular widget is not available, then we can create our own widget as well. Okay. Now, any questions? Any question on widget or anything you have regarding the UI thing? Anything? Any question regarding a Flutter Create is also welcomed. But am I audible?
In VS Code, is it necessary to have output in Chrome browser only, or we can have other browsers as well?
We can have other browsers as well. For example, here, so it is not part of, which you can see, this particular thing is not part of VS Code. I'm running that on terminal. So terminal, that means our CMD. In Windows, we have CMD. In Mac OS and Linux, we have terminal. Okay, so it is just part of Flutter SDK. So Flutter SDK automatically provides us, this Chrome browser, and I think it has support to other browsers as well, but we have to see that. But yeah, it is not necessary. We can run it on any other device. I have
Okay.
Mac OS, I have iOS application. I mean, iOS iPhones, I have Android apps. Sorry, Android phones. So I can run it on anything. Okay. Do we have another question? So yeah, we had one more output uh, from Manmeet Singh. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Uh, any other question? No. Okay. So yes. So okay. So I was talking about the widgets. Okay. So now it's time for the hands-on. So let's go and use some widgets. Okay. Let me first take you to the website. Let me close it as well. If you don't want, let me close this as well. Okay. So for that we have to go on flutter.dev. Okay. And on the flutter.dev, we will navigate to
Your
the
screen
docs.
zoomed.
Yes, yes. I guess someone is saying something.
Sir, your screen is zoomed. We can't see your whole screen.
You cannot see my screen? Okay,
It is, sir, zoomed actually. Focused.
okay.
Yeah.
Is it better now?
Yes, it is, sir.
Okay, okay, great. Okay, so we have resources and load the widgets. I guess my internet is also slow. Okay, it will load the widgets as well. And before that, let's try to see what are the basic widgets which are available inside Flutter. Okay, I guess we all are familiar with stateless and stateful widget. Is it? Do we know stateless and stateful widget? Uh, is it covered by Drumil? Yes, no.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's covered.
Mills has taught it.
Yes.
It would be better if you can revise in a quick view.
Okay, so yeah, I'll just revert. I mean, I'll give you my views. So this stateless. So these are the kind of widgets. Okay, or I can say the parent of all the widgets which we use. Okay, for example, here we can have this scaffold. So we know that we have this scaffold widget, and if we go inside it, you will see a stateful widget. Right. So the stateful and stateless widgets are parent of a lot of widgets that we use. Okay. So let's see what are the stateless and stateful and what is the difference between them. So stateful widgets are widgets which don't have a state or which don't update themselves. And stateful widgets are the widgets which updates themselves. For example, let me run our application again. Okay, let me run our application again. Okay, so for example, if a widget needs an update, okay, for example, we have that number wala widget, okay, which updates itself from 1 2 3 4. Okay, basically we are updating its value. Okay, and whenever we are updating a value, okay, for a widget, that means it should be a stateful widget. Okay, and whenever we have a widget which does not update itself or which does not updates, at that time we use stateless widgets. Okay, and also you can see one more thing, that this stateless widget is a standalone class. It does not need anything else, but this stateful widget needs a state class. We can see the state is always associated with the stateful widget. Right, we can see them in the main function here. In the main function, it needs this homepage class, homepage state class, which is nothing but an implementation of state class. So stateful always have a state, and stateless does not have a state. Okay, so we can see here this particular thing, okay, is updating itself, and that is why we have a stateful class here. A stateful class here. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's create a stateless class as well. So let's create, let's say, container widget example, or container example, okay, which extends stateless widget. Okay, if it is extending stateless, that means our container will never be upgraded or updated. Okay, so we can see one missing out. Okay, so we all know, we all are aware with the build method. Okay, this is the main method which gives us the UI. So I will return here a container. Okay, container is a widget which is provided by Flutter, and then we have a color. Let's say colors.red, and we have height as 100, width as 100. Okay, yes. So we can see, let me put this container example class out somewhere. So, okay, we have to open this column. Let me put container widget, container example here. Okay, and if I outer start it, okay, So we can see that we have this red color, and we will see that it is not changing itself. Okay, it is just like this only. Yeah. And if it is the case, I mean, if it is not changing any at all, then we can have a stateless, stateless widget. And let's say that now, whenever this number changes, then so based on that number, you have to show the color. Okay. So let's see that thing. So what I can do, I can pass number, final int number. Okay. And what I'm saying that based on this number, the color should be updating itself. Okay. Start number, right? We write our constructor like this only, right? Yeah. So what I'm saying, so if this number is divisible by 3, okay, then we will show colors dot red. Else is divisible by 3 is equal to 0, then we will show colors dot red. Else we will show colors dot yellow. Okay, are we getting this? If this particular number is divisible by 3, then we will show red or by yellow. Okay, so here we have to pass our number. So number is $counter counter value. Okay, let me restart it. Okay. Now I want everyone to have a close attention here, because we are going to say something. Okay, I'm increasing this number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can ask me that, Vivek, you have told that it will not update, but it is updating here. Is that your question? Yes, no? Anyone?
Yes.
Yeah. So now you can ask me that, Vivek, you told me that stateless will not update, but it is updating. Okay. So let me show you a clear difference, that this stateless is actually updated from outside. Okay. And how I am so confident about it, let me show you. Hello, updated. Okay. So, okay. Terminal, restart it again. So whenever this particular thing is updated from outside, okay, it will print this particular statement. Hello, I'm updated from outside. Okay, or I can put this in constructor itself, right? Constructor is the best place to put this, right? So anytime constructor is created, that means object is recreated, and if object is recreated, that means whole class is recreated, and if whole class is recreating, that means it is updating from outside. Okay, so let me put here. Yep, it is restarted. So you can see, hello, I'm updated. We got one call here. That means this is called. And if I change the color of it, if I update the value of it, so we can see that a lot of AM updated is calling here. Okay, and that's why it is updating from outside. So a stateless can be updated from outside, but cannot be updated from inside. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready to see that magic?
Yes.
Just a second. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Let me show you something. Let me remove this single line here. That's it. Okay. But let's keep this counter. Okay, and let's print the counter is updated. Counter is updated to $counter value. Okay, and let me restart it again. So it is restarted. Okay, I have done very small change. that I have commented this set state function. That means set state will be not called inside our homepage state. Right. Let me click on this button again. If I click on this, okay, we can see that nothing is happening, right? And it is because set state is not called. Okay, but we can see counter value is updating. We can see that counter value is updated to 18. Okay, and I can show you the value. If I do just a small r here, okay. Oh, sorry, why it is restarted? It should do hot reload. Okay, how do hot reload? How to do hot reload? Okay, just wait a second. Hot reload in VS Code. Command F5. Hot reload in VS Code. Okay. Okay. Do we have anything else here? No. Okay. So yeah. So what I'm showing here is even though the value is updating, the value is updated to 6, the UI is not updating, right? And it is because the magic is stopped by set state. This particular function, which was doing that magic of updating, is not called. So now let's put this again. Let's have this set state again in our function, and let's start this one. So, okay. So it is restarting again. We can see that it is 0, it is here, hello updated. Let's try to click on this again. So we can see that change is happening, right? We can see that change is happening. So what is the conclusion over here? The conclusion is that if you don't have a set state function, you cannot update yourself, right? And the only difference between stateful and stateless is that the stateless can have this set state function, but stateful cannot. So let's see how. So okay, let's have a function here, void update me. Okay, and let's try to copy. As I will just copy and paste this function. Okay, and it should work. And let me just copy and paste this. Okay, so can we see an error here that set state is not defined in the type container example? That means it is not here in this particular class. Okay, and if we want that set state, okay, let me just put it here. If we want that set state, I have to change stateless widget to a stateful. Okay, and I have a shortcut for that. If I click on this and convert to stateful widget, okay, as soon as converted, we can see that I got this set state here and it is not showing me error. That means the stateful classes have this set state method, okay, but stateless classes don't have set state method. Okay, okay, are we here? Are we getting all these things here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now that we wanted we wanted to have a function in container example so that it can update itself. Okay, so what we can do, okay, because it is final, let's have another number 2 or number 1. Okay, and let's keep it null. Okay, and what do we do? We will add one more condition over here. Okay. Condition is that if number 1 is null, okay, something like that. Okay, if number 1 is null, okay, so I guess that will be too far. So, no, I guess this is not gonna work. So let's put this particular thing in a column. Okay, and we will have 2 container. Okay, so first container is with red and yellow, another should be with color dot, some other color like blue gray and something like, oh, where it gone? Perfect. Okay. And here the condition will be number on the number 1. Okay, so let's have its value as 0. So then the default value is 0. Okay, and okay, and there is one more function init state. I'm sure you are aware with that. Do you know the init state function? Anyone?
No, sir.
No. Okay, so every state class have an init state function. Okay, and it is very important to know that every stateful class, so every stateful class have this state class, right? And every state class have a function which is known as init state. Okay, so we can see this init state here. It has been overridden. Okay, we have this super dot init state as well, and this init state is actually called before this build method. Okay, let me show you. So before init state, and then I will write print build. Okay, and if I rerun this, we will see init state first, and after that we will see the build print. Okay, we have, okay, yeah, okay, so you can see hello, I'm updated. It is coming here from here, this contain this particular thing, constructor. Then we can see init state, and after that we can see build method. Right now let's see how we can see the magic of set state in our container class. So because init state is called, okay, so what I can do, I will call another function which will call a set state, right? We know that without set state we cannot update or anything. So what we'll do, we will call another function which will call a state set state. Okay, I mean, is everyone is with me? That
Yes, sir.
I guess we have that update me function. Do we have that? Update me, no, update me went somewhere else. Okay. So we have void update me. Okay, and there is this timer dot periodic. Okay, I will tell you about this in later, but see. So after every 3 seconds, this timer will run, and when this timer will run, what we will do? We will do a set state. Set state. Okay, and with every timer, we will update our number 1 as well. We have number 1, right? Number 1 plus plus. Okay, and based on the number 1, it will update. So we will see the output. Okay, but we have not called update me. Let me call update me here. Okay, so let me first explain you the code. The code is very simple. We have this container example, and in the container example we are passing a number. Okay, that number is coming from the counter, and here in the state class we have another number which is number 1. Okay, and then we have this init state. Init state is a function which is called before build method. Okay, and in init state we are calling update me, this update me, and this update me have a code, a simple code which is a timer dot periodic which runs this particular code, okay, after every 3 seconds. Okay, it will run number plus plus and set state after every 3 seconds, and whenever it will run set state, it will update our UI. Okay, so let's see what magic we can see out here. Okay, so for hot restart, I will go here. It is hot restarted. Okay, let's see if we can see any change. We cannot see any change. Let me restart it again. 1, 2, 3. I guess our timer is not working or something. This timer should be updating. Okay. So till I fix this particular program, why timer is not working. Okay, we can take an half an hour break. Okay, and then we can come again. I will keep the same code like this, and this particular timer should work, and it will show us some magic. Okay, is it fine?